Hi there, it's me, Diane Deziel. I only changed my hair color, so you didn't do any mistake. It's still my channel. And today I want to propose you an interesting grading. It's a one-piece bodysuit. So I'm going to show you how to do it with two different grading ruler. And before to start, I'm contacting now the school from Montreal, from all Canada and United States, and offering a set of those grading ruler. So if you're interested in having it at your school, make sure you talk to the responsible about it, and they just have to contact me on my email, dianedeziel@gmail.com, and I'll send you a free set of 4. So to grade the one-piece bodysuit, you're going to need 2 of the ruler. You're going to use the Pant ruler. I want you to look at the grading on the ruler that is distributed on each side of the grain line for the Pant. So that's how we usually grade the Pant. And now if we move to the bodice, you could see that on the bodice it's fixed from the grain line, but this time it's the center front, so it's a half of the bodice, half of the front, and the grading is all distributed on the same side. So to put them together and make sure that the grading match, there's just a tiny little special thing that we'll do, and I'm going to show you right now. So as you could see, the bodysuit, bodice and pant all together is quite long for a pattern, so it's a little far for now, but then we'll go later we'll go a little closer so you could see the grading. So the first thing I did is I traced all around my block. This is a size small, so I'll be making the medium size. So I trace all around, indicate my grain line, and I'm going to trace the grain line because that's the reference for the grading. So before starting the grading, there's 2 or 3 additional points that you might not have on your block. It's the waist level point, so both sides, and also the shoulder blade. Like on all bodice, you're going to need shoulder blade on the block and on the trace line. Then I'm starting with the pant part because it's the biggest one. And it's going to be easier to control the top part because it's smaller. So I'm starting with the pant, and I'm going to be starting at the waist and go all around the pant area. So like I said, I do have a small right now, and I want to grade it to a medium. So the medium was the black one. That means my small is 2 sizes smaller. So I'll always be placing my blue dot on the original position. I'm going to use my awl to hold it there and place the block parallel, the tool parallel to the grain line. And then I will point for each one the medium size. You could do with the awl, and you could do it with a fine marker since I'm doing just one size. And I continue, so there's always a point at the crotch level, back or front, that hold a straight line. So I'll put it right there. Again, the blue on the line, the blue on my reference. Place the block, the tool parallel to the grain line, and point size medium. So I'm going to go around and continue with the crotch. So the blue on the point, my tool parallel, and point the medium size. So I continue the same way all around. Now we're going to be tracing. So I'm going to start also at the waist, and it's always from one reference point to the other. So I'm tracing from the waist to my first notch. In that case, it's the zipper notch. So depending on the length of your zipper, you might have to move it up or not. It depends. crotch, I usually place it in the middle of the grading, so to keep pretty much the same distance on both sides. I trace part of the line and just stretch it out to my new point. And the other point, same thing, so crotch to knee, knee to bottom, and I'll come back the other side, bottom to the knee, and knee to the crotch level or hip point, and waist to hip. So now for the top part. Since this is a stretch, both direction stretch block, I'm going to keep the waist exactly at the level that I just did. So I'm going to trace the waist for you so you could see what's the next step. And from that new waistline, I'm going to trace the block again, touching at the center back, because I'm grading the back. So touching center back, I'm going to trace my block again. I'll do a dotted line this time so you could see the difference. And make sure you do indicate the shoulder blade area. And we're ready to use the bodice block. So now from this red line, the new one that I just did, I'm going to do the same thing using the bodice block. So I'm going to start at the neck and shoulder point, placing again my blue dot that is a small, because my bodice that I trace, even the red one, is a small. And I'm going to hold the blue dot and make my center parallel to the grain line of the bodice and dot the black one. I should use the tin marker so you could see it also. And since there's no dart, I'll go right away to the shoulder and armhole point. So again, blue dot on the corner, parallel to center back, grain line parallel to center back, and dot my shoulder and armhole. Now shoulder blade area, blue dot on the point, parallel to the center back, and dot again for the underarm point, blue on the corner, parallel, and dot medium size. And this time you don't have to do the waist point because it's already graded from the pant grading. So we just have to finish the tracing of the top part. So remember, the dotted line was the small that I traced, just the waist was moved up, but the size was still the small. So now you're going to see the actual grading. I'm going to start also with the shoulder and neck point. So it's usually a straight line, and you just connect the 2 points. The neckline, in that case, since it's a small grading, just use your block and soften the line until the original. The rest of the line is the same. Center back will remain also. From the shoulder and armhole point, I'm going to touch the shoulder blade level. And you just go a little further. For the armhole, that is often an issue for the beginning. The tracing is a little harder for big size. This is not so big difference, so you might be alright. You usually place it in between the old to the new one. So you place the corner in between and you trace for a little while. Then you move it to the final position and you finish your line. The side seam, like I was saying, you just match with the waist point that you got from the pen grading. And here you go. Your grading is finished. Think about it. With other method, any other method by hand, you have to do so many calculations to fit the pen grading with the bodice. But in this case, there's only one little thing to do. It's to grade the top separately, but also together with your pen, just in 2 different steps. So it's finished. The grading is finished. Of course, the back and the front you do the same way. If you have other special requests like that for grading, it will be a pleasure for me to answer your question with another video. And I hope you enjoy. I see you next time.